Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Messi Co. I'm Ashley, back with my co-host Gian, and we are ready to have another great week of Inter Miami news, specifically Lionel Messi news, and lots of exciting things happening as we get ready for the preseason. Gian, how we feeling?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Things are starting to ramp up for Inter Miami. A lot of exciting stuff is coming out. Awards, player rumblings, player movement. So we're just waiting for more news and more news to come out, and some exciting stuff, I guess, that we can talk about, at least from your part for the coverage. Some exciting stuff that I'm sure you'll want to talk about soon. But yeah, excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, as Gian sort of alluded to, we Inter Miami had their first media open preseason training session and media availability with Tata Martino and introducing our new forward, Luis Suarez. I had the opportunity to go and represent the amazing people behind Messi Co and 5 Reasons Sports. I was able to watch the training, to see Messi, Suarez, and Busquets walk out together, in the three of them as if no time had passed. Got to see some good training. Got to ask Tata a question about our midfield, kind of bring us back into the fold. And it was really fun. It was great to see a lot of players who we've been unsure about what's going to happen to them in the offseason at training, the likes of DeAndre Yedlin, Robert Taylor, Leonardo Campana, all there, all training, all pushing forward. We saw Julian Gressel for the first time training with Inter, and obviously, as we know, Luis Suarez joining with Inter Miami. So it was a lot of fun, and it just got me excited that we're really getting close.
Actually, I want to ask you, because obviously we all saw that picture of the four of them seated together.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Suarez did walk out with Messi.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious, from what you saw in practice, were they actually practicing together as well? Were they like in the same circle doing the passing drills, or were they separate, at least those core four?
Yeah, well, so media only had about, I'd say, 20 to 25 minutes of able to watch the training.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes or so was the big circle with the ball and the one touch, and so we saw everyone getting a little bit getting their feet wet a little. And then the drill that we got to see was actually when they had 3 of them in a line and was doing a sort of a passing back and forth drill, and it was Messi, Suarez, and Busquets, which was really fun. It was really fun to see the 3 of them. It was of no time had passed, was immediately going into it. And I mean, obviously, that's a small sample size of what we're going to hopefully see for the season. But yeah, they were there. And then Alba was working with, I believe, Farias and Campana, I think, which I also like to see, those 6 players working together, I think is maybe a good indication just to start. It's obviously, this is way too early predictions, but seeing them all work together, it was good.
How did Gregory look?
Gregory looked great. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked great. I thought Julian Gressel looked really good. Yedlin looked fresh. Robert Taylor looked fresh.
And Suarez looked good too, I think, because from what I was seeing, he was moving perfectly. He looked great, and he said he felt great too.
I've never seen him in person, especially not that close, but he's a big guy. He's someone you can see and be like, oh, okay, I see how he scored 1 billion goals.
And I'm sure we'll see a bunch of, but he looked good. I think that's what everybody's concern kind of was, or not everybody's, but a lot of people's concern was having Suarez here was all the issues with his knees and the rumors about him needing a ton of, I guess, injections and medicines and not feeling well. And I think that he himself said in the press conference, not only did he look good in practice, his mobility, his touching, everything looked great, but he himself said that he feels great, that he's never felt better, and that he expects that he's going to be able to play without any issues. So I think that was really, really good for us. And I'm just excited to see this team as they progress. But I know that we have some really cool news that maybe some have seen. What happened with Messi?
Well, he's the best player in the world, and he is the FIFA Player of the Year, the best of the year. And there are obviously a lot of people who have different thoughts on, at this point in time, is it Messi? Is it Mbappe? Is it Haaland? The answer is it's Messi, because Lionel Messi won almost, I wouldn't say single-handedly because that's doing a disservice to Argentina, but he won at great odds, won a World Cup. He brought Inter Miami their first trophy. He is still, regarded as just one of the best to play for 90 minutes, and he deserves all the credit and for the rest of time that he's gotten for that World Cup win and just being amazing. And look, you saw the interesting, or maybe the beneficial part of this award is that a lot of players vote too. And you saw that Mbappe, Haaland, Harry Kane all voted for Messi to be the player of the year. And so I think within his peers, it's a consensus too. He was the best in the world.
Yeah, I gotta agree. He is definitely the best in the world, and I think a lot of people agree. Even his own comrades there agree as well. And I know that there was, like you mentioned, there was controversy kind of surrounding this decision for him to win the best award for 2023. And I think that, I guess the issue that a lot of people had was that he didn't maybe have as many accolades or accomplishments in 2023 as somebody like Haaland they thought might have been more deserving. But as we can see, this was not something that was based on statistics. This wasn't something that was based on goals or assists. This was something that was purely out of respect, reverence, understanding who is the best player in the world. And that's kind of what, this wasn't just anybody voting here. These were players, these were coaches, team captains,
the best
of the best amongst themselves collectively decided that Messi is the best player in the world currently, still at his age of 36. And for those that want to disagree, that's fine. They can disagree, but there is no ifs, ands, or buts when the best in the world are saying that he is the best. So,
and it's also about how you can affect, how with this award. And I think what's really important, and this is really nothing against Mbappe and Haaland, because they are also the best players in the world. It's not even a competition, but with the amount of impact Messi has on a team and on a game, I think is still why he continues to win this award, because you can see that Mbappe is totally a game wrecker. He can flip a game on its head and, can do spectacular things in the final third. Same with Haaland, but Messi, just on every inch of the field, is still the one everyone is afraid of. Every inch, And so whether he's in his own half, what doesn't matter. He just impacts the game at such a level that he's the best. And yeah. I think Mbappe will get it probably next year, or Haaland, and very well deserved at that. But I think that it's hard to, last year, especially, the last 12 to 14 months, is there any player you'd rather have play at that moment than Messi?
No, not at all. And I think that everybody recognizes that. The own players recognize that. And again, it's not just about statistics. Obviously, statistics do play a certain role, but at this point, it goes beyond that. It goes beyond, it's the intangibles as well. It's the feeling that he gives, the courage that he gives the other players on the team, on the field that are with him. I wanted to share something that Thomas Mueller said, from Germany. He says statistics such as goals or titles are certainly an important factor, but in the end, football is more than that. Magic also lies in beauty and elegance. I once read that I have more contributions than Zidane, but I will not kid myself, because for the magic and beauty of football, magicians like Zidane and Messi are on a completely different category than me. And that sums it up more than anything. There's players that are top level that just understand that certain players are just, you can't compare them to others.
It made me think of Luka Modric in 2019 and, the years after Croatia made it to the final of the World Cup. Obviously, specifically for Croatia, he had a lot of goals and assists. But with Real Madrid, he doesn't have the most goals and assists each year, but the amount he's a champion. He, what helped win them 5 Champions League trophies and countless other titles. You can see the fact that he controls every inch of the field, that he's the best, even if it doesn't look like it maybe, or show up exactly on the thing. You notice a especially in those years, you notice a substantial difference when Luka Modric was or was not on the field.
Yeah, and actually, now that you mentioned Modric, what's really interesting is that Modric voted for Messi. Mind
Yeah,
you,
because Modric knows.
Modric voted for Messi, and he played with the likes of Cristiano on Real Madrid. Valverde from Real Madrid also voted for Messi. Even Portugal's own coach voted for Messi, which is
because it's about that's what he brings to the game, right? Like Messi is going to go not just because of what he did, and if you say goals scored, like without being too controversial, and you're saying, oh, Ronaldo versus Messi, the amount of goals scored, the number 1 and 2 players of all time, but number 1 is Messi because it's not just that, but it's how he made you feel every single time he played. And you said it right, like that's a really important part of this sport.
Yeah, I wanted to share something that is that people will probably find amusing. So Cristiano, as a captain of Portugal, had a vote.
And he didn't vote. Yeah,
he didn't vote. And who voted? Pepe voted. Who did he vote for? Pepe voted. Well, what's interesting is Pepe actually voted for Bernardo Silva. So here's what happened. So,
which isn't a bad shout. Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, those are also similar in the type that they're unsung heroes. Where I mean, they're sung heroes, but the amount of every Kevin De Bruyne, or the amount of impact he has in every inch of the field when he's playing, people would choose him over Haaland. Probably like if injury wasn't a concern, and it was like if you're just putting them side by side, you'd choose De Bruyne because of what he can bring to your team.
No, 100%. But what's funny is that Haaland actually tied with Messi in votes. And if Cristiano would have kept his vote and would have voted for anybody but Messi, it would have been Haaland. So it's funny how him stepping away and saying, I don't want to vote, and ultimately ended up giving the award to Messi. It's just funny how life works, how soccer works. So thought it was something interesting. But I guess just to kind of sum up, and then if you wanted to say anything else in regards to that, Ashley, in the last 4 years, I guess it's all moving towards like this moment of him being the best of 2023. And I don't know if we'll see him as the best moving forward, but just like the last 4 years, he won 3 Ballon d'Ors. He won 2 FIFA the Best awards, now including this one. He wins Copa America. He wins World Cup. Like these last 4 years, on the League's Cup on top of all of it. Yes. Let's say the best for the most difficult one, the League's Cup. Like what a last 4 years for Messi at the age of 36, or from 32 on, what he's been able to do, and kind of just end right now with his last award of being the best is just incredible. It's just incredible for an amazing player. And I believe he has the most collective trophies of any player in history. So it's just amazing what we've seen.
It is amazing. And I think that sometimes, even now, like, we've been doing this podcast for almost 8 months now. And maybe even it's so funny how things can wear off, or how you get used to a status quo. We have the greatest player of all time, and still the greatest player in the league, in the world, in Lionel Messi. And like, could you say, like I said, is there an argument for the others? And is he starting to maybe go like slightly, he's probably like this right now, and he's starting to maybe go like this while everyone else is, because he's 36. But oh my God, we're so lucky that we have him. And he is still, I can name on one hand the amount of players I would choose to start a team with over Messi. Like it really, it's the truth. He's just the best, and we're very lucky. And with our best, we get to see him play for Inter Miami for at least one more year, starting potentially this Friday with our first preseason game against El Salvador. Are you excited? Will you be watching? And is Messi going to play in that order?
Am I excited? I don't know if I'm excited to be
Maybe
honest.
Not. Next.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I was in El Salvador. But am I going to watch? Depends what I'm doing. If I don't have anything,
you're fired. Next.
I'll try. I mean, I'm definitely not canceling any plans to watch a game where I'm not sure if you'll play, to be honest with you, which I'm sure would be very difficult to hear if any of you are currently in El Salvador and hoping to go see him play. I don't know if he'll play. What was the third one?
Is Messi going to play?
Well, I guess I answered 2A, 2B, but yeah. So I don't know if he's going to play. I know that Tata has said that that if I mean, you're shaking your head, but Tata said if they're healthy, that they'll play or they'll at least travel. As always, Inter Miami, Tata are very ambiguous. You don't know what's going to happen. But let's say this this is personal advice from Gian. Maybe
Please, Thierry Henry, tell us.
Maybe, lower your expectations. Maybe be careful how much you pay for a ticket. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand right now. But look, just in case anybody's wondering where it'll be streamed, I believe it's going to be streamed on MLSsoccer.com. Yeah. So that's where you can watch it. But look, if I'm home, I'll watch it. Yeah, for sure. But I'm not overly excited.
He's not playing. If I'm wrong for the people of El Salvador, I'm happy if you get to see him, and if he plays, even better. If I was a betting woman, no, he's not playing. He's gonna travel. And look, maybe, like I said, maybe if you're lucky, maybe if all things go well, maybe he plays the last 10 minutes. I mean, maybe, but I just don't see him playing. I like we've said in previous episodes, it's, first of all, they want it to be a slow start. He obviously, like most of the team, he had the holidays off, and still needs to get back into quote unquote playing shape or form. And we have so many games this year. I don't know if Friday's the day they start him. Also, like I said, he's going to be playing against Ronaldo. I doubt the 90 minutes, but him and Ronaldo will be starting that game. There's 0.0000001% doubt in my mind that they are starting and having their last hurrah together, unless there are some extenuating circumstances. He's not going to play. But it'll be great to see some of, the players that maybe we've retained that we aren't sure of, or players who were injured, or young players get their feet wet, see how the game starts. But, I agree with you. I don't know exactly where I'll be Friday night. If I can, I'll have it on and see, how the boys play. But we're just excited to be back, excited to get the ball rolling, excited to start seeing players play, and it's fun. That's why we watch. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's a stadium that holds over 50,000. I might just tune in to see. I'm just curious if it's going to be like,
I mean, also people aren't born yesterday. Like, I think people maybe when they did, before they knew the rest of the preseason schedule, wasn't this like the last game added though? Like, this was recently added, wasn't it?
Not one of the last, but I think maybe middle.
Yeah. I mean, so you can never really be too sure who's going to play. You never know. You really never know. I think it'll be fun regardless. Inter Miami have a lot of great talent, a lot of young talent. Who knows who's going to play? Maybe you'll see Campana get some minutes, because, I mean, I'm sure, especially players who are from South America and Central America, maybe these are moments that they won't, specifically if they have a chance to put in a couple minutes, they will. So yeah, we'll see. But
yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, regardless, if you're there, go. Just again, it's
so fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So
but someone who is probably not going to be there, and who we can talk about now and kind of roll into this conversation of who will be here, who won't, is Nico Stefanelli. Nico Stefanelli looks like he's headed to play for Everton, and maybe not the Everton you're thinking, Everton in Chile, not in England, where, it was something that we didn't obviously know would be Everton, but we started in the beginning kind of saying, don't know if with all the attacking talent that we have and that we've brought in, if Stefanelli is going to be able to hold his place in the roster, if they can maybe get a little bit more value in getting rid of him. So not the biggest surprise in the world.
Yeah, I will say that I think you had something to do with this, Ashley.
Me?
Yeah. You were at the press conference and you asked Tata Martino how he's going to pick his midfield because he has too many. And then the next thing we know, Stefanelli's on his way to
Yeah,
Everton.
it's true. It's not a bad point. I'm sorry, Nico. But no, in all seriousness, look, there's obviously, and Tata said it too. There's some positions that they'd like to fill or that they'd like to add some more depth into. The front six is not it. It's our we have a pretty fair amount of people there in our first, second, and some would even say third team that you could potentially probably see ahead of Stefanelli. And so if they can get some value out of him, it was probably the right move.
Yeah, I definitely think that Stefanelli was no longer going to start. Like at least
I don't know if he'd even be one of the three first ones subbed.
At least like the ideal team, like the ideal starting 11, where this is an important game. Stefanelli was not going to see the field at all. He might have been, let's say, maybe one of the million cups that we're going to be in, and we're trying to alternate players, or maybe a game that isn't, I don't know, as important as others. Maybe we would have seen him play, but I think taking that into consideration, that's what Tata probably took into consideration, and management as well, is saying this is a guy that's taking up an international roster spot. He's a guy that's costing, I mean, he's not the most expensive, but a nice chunk of change.
He wasn't the least. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not going to be getting the playing time. They're looking for high caliber players. They're looking for players that can make an impact, players that are going to be really important for us. And most of these, at least from what we've seen via different reports, they're looking in places like Argentina, like looking at teams like Boca Juniors. We spoke already about Christian Medina. They're also now apparently looking in River Plate at a player called Agustin Palavecino from Argentina, midfielder. So that just kind of shows that they do have interest in these players that are going to require an international roster spot.
Yeah.
So when you do something like this, you're kind of getting his money off the books with Stefanelli and getting an international roster spot that you can go ahead and use on one of these other players that you're trying to go after. Somebody like maybe who else? Not John Mota. What's his name? I just went blank.
Gregory?
No, it's another
Gomez.
Shoot, never mind.
But for us?
Of course he plays for us. Yeah. I just went completely blank. But he's a forward. I don't know.
Robbie Taylor?
No, not Robbie Taylor.
Robbie Robinson?
Not Robbie Robinson. This is gonna kill me because I just had a total mental. Yeah. Coco Jean. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate you. I went blank there. But yeah, so that's another player that could possibly be on the move as well to get an international roster spot. So
I'd be shocked if Coco Jean was playing for us starting day one of the MLS season. I'd be shocked. Who knows?
Yeah. But that's kind of like where this is going with these types of moves with Stefanelli, again, going to Everton. And I just think that moving forward, we can probably expect some more types of transactions like this that are going to get money off the books, move players that aren't going to see so much time, and they're going to help us recoup these international roster spots.
Totally, yeah. And I mean, it's a shame with Stefanelli because I think he got very inconsistent playing time because of injuries and other factors. But he added value. He had some good games. He did. You could see that there was some potential there, but it didn't shake out. Sometimes that's how it works. And we move to see who we will get rid of. There's still plenty of time. But to end on, there is one player that I saw some reports on with an Inter Miami shirt in the frame. Is Neymar Jr. going to be signing for Inter Miami?
No, he's not. Yeah, we're having fun here, so nobody tweet this tomorrow. That there was Messi Co reports.
Breaking news. This is breaking news. Clip this right now. Everyone clip it. Neymar Jr. is joining Inter Miami for the 2024 season, according to a tweet where a girl was holding a Inter Miami jersey in a picture.
To be specific, he will be attending a game. Not that he will be on the team. He will be attending a game in 2024. But that is funny. That is funny. That is just the reach that Inter Miami now has because of Messi, where now you are seeing players like Neymar with a Inter Miami jersey next to him. So
you see this tail wagging in the background. Yeah, no, that was obviously just a joke, but it was cool. And who know, I don't want to say who knows what happens. I think it'd be very difficult for Neymar to join Inter Miami with Messi on the roster. But what I do love, and I sent you this about Mbappe with the Beckham and the TikTok as well, what is already starting to happen and what is really important is that Inter Miami is completely becoming a global brand. It's becoming a soccer team, and it's becoming a name and a jersey and a color that everyone is noticing and associating with all around the world. That's what we want. That is what we're hoping this club will be able to benefit off of for many, many years to come, be able to build a really strong infrastructure. We have the stadium in process. The MLS is growing. We're getting lots of talent. It's really exciting, and we have a really, really exciting season ahead of us. And we can't wait to go there with you.
100%, 100%. Things are starting to roll. We'll start seeing again a lot more news coming up, and as always, we'll be here breaking news if we can. Try to talk about the newest things, like again the best award for Messi. We knew we had to jump on and talk about that, as well as all these other little tidbits here and there. But we're just excited. This is just the beginning. Not even first preseason game yet, but man, so much to talk about, and we're just glad to be here.
Totally. All right, awesome. Well, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. We obviously don't know what's going to be happening. There's breaking news every day, really exciting things happening. If there's something more to talk about before next week, we will be back to talk about it. But enjoy the preseason game. Get ready for the season. For Messi Co and for 5 Reasons Sports, I'm Ashley. That is Gian. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week.